Officer, to ask the First Minister whether the Scottish Government will withdraw the Health and Wellbeing Census 2021, given reported concerns over school pupils being asked questions relating to sex and relationships.
First Minister. Firstly, no, we won't. But secondly, I want to make clear that the questions which have been the focus of much of the commentary around this survey are being asked of 14, 15 or 16-year-olds. Next, the census is not mandatory, neither for local authorities to use in full or for children, given that parents may or may not consent to their child taking part, and pupils themselves can also, if they wish to, opt out of the survey. But all governments have a responsibility, and I think it's a serious responsibility, to ensure that public service delivery is informed by lived experience. Absolutely. We have two choices. Either we can bury our heads in the sand and pretend that young people are not exposed to the issues or the pressures that we know they are exposed to, or we can seek to properly understand the reality young people face and then provide them with the guidance, the advice and the services they need to make safe, healthy and positive decisions. And I choose the latter. The latest information we have, Presiding Officer, is that 24 local authorities have confirmed they are taking part in this census, which of course also features extremely important questions about pupils' experiences of the pressures of schoolwork, bullying and mental health.
Megan Gallagher.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Parents have contacted me and my colleagues as they are concerned about the explicit nature of some of the questions. One of the questions asks, people have varying degrees of sexual experience. How much, if any, sexual experience have you had? Non-small amount, for example, kissing, some intimate touching on top of clothes. Some experiences, but no sexual intercourse, for example, touching intimately underneath clothes or without clothes on. Or more experiences, including oral sex, vaginal or anal sex. There has also been reports that the supposed anonymous questionnaires can be traced back to individual pupils, as they must enter their student candidate number twice, that is directly linked to their name. First Minister, would you feel comfortable answering these questions, and can you reassure Parliament today that should a young person complete these forms, they cannot be identified?
First Minister.
Well, firstly, on the issue of confidentiality, the questionnaires have been specially designed so that the information provided by children and young people is used for statistical and research purposes only, and that ensures that any results of the research or resulting statistics will not be made available in a form which identifies individual children and young people. Let me repeat what I said earlier on. This is a voluntary survey. It is only for S4, secondary year 4 and upwards. Any parent can refuse to give consent, and of course any young person can opt not to take part in the survey or to skip particular questions in the survey. It is not mandatory. But I come back to the fundamental point. We can choose to pretend that young people of this age group do not have the experiences that the member has narrated, or is not exposed online in the digital world we live in. We can choose to pretend that young people, girls sometimes in particular, are not subjected to harassment and pressure around sexual matters. We can do that. We can refuse to ask the questions so that we don't know the answers, or we can get the answers that then allows us to better support young people, to provide the advice and the information and the guidance to young people that supports and enables them to make positive, healthy choices for the future. I do choose the latter, and I would ask the Conservatives seriously, and others, yes, to engage in any legitimate concerns around these matters, but don't whip up concern on the part of parents for completely unnecessary reasons, and let us all focus on what really matters, supporting our young people to make healthy choices in their own lives.